Hello and good morning. We're in week 4-5. Let's take a look here. Homework, classwork is due. Also, you have a test. Night is the last night. I want you to graph these. Well, let's take a look here. Now, to graph a line, you're going to use the y-intercept, which is -2. This is your y. Move the negative to the top and go down 1, because it's a negative, right? And then go to the right 2, and your line looks like this. Notice that this line is going down. Like if you start here and you move this way, you're decreasing. You're going down. That's a negative slope, by the way. Okay? This next one right here, you got to memorize this. X equals negative b over 2a. And you got to know what's your a, b, and c. Remember, the a is in front of the x squared. So a is 1. There is no x. Well, yeah, there's an x squared, but the x is 0. Remember this formula? Copy that down. You see how there's no x, so there's no b. There's a c. The c is 2. So x equals negative b over 2 times a. Well, that's basically 0 divided by 2, and 2 goes into 0 0 times. So what you want to do when you make your table on this one is use the 0 in the middle. And then you want to go smaller. Okay, so you want to go -1 and -2, and then bigger. This should be your vertex here. Remember, this is a U shape. I'm going to put 0 in this formula. Well, 0, let's see where it's at, way up here. So 0 squared is 0, and 0 plus 2 is 2. That's your vertex. 1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. Remember, these are the same. And then 2 squared is 4, and 4 plus 2 is 6, so these two are the same. And so what you want to do is graph it. And so when you graph it, you go over 0 up to, and then -1 up 3, and then -1 up 6, and we're up here. And then over here, it's over 1 up 3. And so this one looks like this. And it should be a U shape. Don't make it a V. It's not an absolute value, and that's how you do that. Make sure you know that for your next test. This right here says graph a line with y's equal to 3. Well, if you make some points and y has to be 3, you just put some 3's in there. And then you make up whatever you want here. That's good enough. So we're going to go over 0, up 3, over 1 up 3, over 2 up 3. So this line is a horizontal line with a slope of 0. All right, copy these down right here. These say to evaluate, and what that means is substitute the number in there, okay? Let's take a look at this. So to evaluate, you're going to put a 3 in place of this. And what I'm going to tell you is you got to square it first. So 3 squared is 9, right? 3 times 3. And then 9 times 2 is 18. Minus 3 minus 2. That gives you a -5. So 18 minus 5 is going to give you 13 is your answer. Okay? So the evaluation is at 3, you get 13. That's your point. Right here, you're going to plug in -1. When you plug in -1 here, you're going to get 4 over 3 times -1 minus 5. 3 times -1 is a -3, minus 5 is a -8. So you get 4 over -8, which equals -1/2. And that's how you do that. This one right here, you got to be careful. So copy these two down. Now notice that this one is in parentheses, the negative. This one's not. So you got to square it first. So 3 times 3 is 9, and that negative makes it a -9. On this one, 3 times 3 is 9, But a negative, you have two negatives here because it's in parentheses. So that's a plus. So make sure you understand the differences. This one, the negative is squared. This one, the negative is not. So you do this first and then multiply by that negative. Okay, today you have this work right here. Find a book, label it, put a heading on there. Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. Okay, so college algebra, you have a test. By the way, this is week 4-5. Homework, classwork, test. Write an augmented matrix. So this is going to be 1, 2, and 4. 1, -5, and -2. This is called an augmented matrix. Okay? Dimensions. Copy this down right here. Okay, so dimensions go by rows and columns. Write that down. Rows and columns. The rows go this way. Columns is what holds up a building. Okay? So this is a 1 by 1. 1 row, 1 column. This one is a 1 by 2. This one is a 2 by 3. Okay? Rows and columns. Copy this down. Okay, so row echelon form is where you make this one 0, this one 0, and this one 0. That is called row echelon form. And you also make these 1s. Okay? Today you have some work right here. If you get stuck, ask for help. Make sure you show some work. And I'm going to come around the last 5 minutes and see how you're doing. All right. Have a good morning, and I'll see you guys in class.